Welcome to the Minority Business Report, where we talk about positive things that are happening in Anne Arundel County. I am Joanne Jackson, Anne Arundel County Minority Business Enterprise Coordinator. My guests today are Jason Conley, co-owner of the Captain's Club Apparel Company, and store manager William Channel. The Captain's Club is located on Main Street in downtown Annapolis. We are delighted to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
But before we get started, would you tell our viewing audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what it is that you do?
I originally started in Texas, born and raised there. I moved up in 1996 to the Bethesda, Washington, D.C. Area. And I was always into sports as a kid. I played so many different types of sports. My mom and dad told me that I have to pick a sport because I was playing too many sports. So I decided basketball over soccer. I had two sports left. And I think it turned out well because there's not a lot of 6'5" soccer players out there. But I got serious with the sport, and I got recruited through my high school team was ranked number one in the country.
What high school was that?
Montrose.
Okay.
And that's in Rockville.
Okay.
And we got a lot of press, and at that time, I was getting recruited by certain schools. I got a full scholarship to VMI, which was a dream.
VMI for the audience.
Virginia Military Institute.
Okay.
And after a solid year, actually a good year, I don't like talking about myself like that, but after a good year, I had the opportunity to take my talents to a higher level. And I went to University of Missouri, and I had a solid career there, which was a fun time. I graduated, and I had the opportunity, which was a dream come true to me, to go pro. Because as a kid, I always said I wanted to be a pro basketball player. And next thing you know, I was on a flight to Germany, which was great.
Now, what year was that, Jason?
That was 2005.
Okay.
Yeah. 2005, and I've been playing. I'll be going into my 13th year this past year playing pro. I've been in Romania, Germany, Austria, and Finland. I've put my time into the game, and I've had the opportunity to work with kids as well. I spend the summers in between this. The season usually goes from September to May, and I spend the summers mentoring kids, doing basketball skills and individual skills stuff. And that's where my passion came, to actually give back. And I saw the importance of giving back and hard work in the kids' eyes. So that's where I'm at this point now.
You're related to a very famous Annapolis family too, aren't you?
I think so.
Just tell us a little bit about
my mother. What brought me to Annapolis 4 years ago, Eris T. Allen Jr. Married my mom. And the past four summers, I spent a lot of time in Annapolis on Main Street. And that's where I got the feel to want to come here and start the store here. So it was a great opportunity, and I try not to use his name too much, but
why not?
But it's been fun since I've been here.
Yeah, because he's the one who gave me a call. I wouldn't have known him if he hadn't given me a call. Hey, Bill, how about yourself?
I have just always had a passion for business and fashion, talking to people. I'm originally from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I am one of 7, so I grew up pretty quick, independently. And my brother actually started the company with my partner Jim, and what happened was they actually met at a car dealership, and they ended up working in sales together. And after a while, Jim, the president, and my brother ended up leaving their sales job, and we kind of all just came together, and Jim had presented us with the logo, and we'd all become very good friends, and eventually it was kind of just time to do something. And my brother had been driving sightseeing tour buses on Martha's Vineyard. So what happened was we kind of just all linked up out there. We found this little shed almost. It was actually where they stored mopeds.
I wanted to talk about you, because we're going to talk about that later on in the show.
Well, like I
Talk
said,
about you.
one of 7. I went to private Catholic high school, graduated, and spent the summers just working, doing landscaping, every job I could, just trying to make money. I've kind of always been an entrepreneur. I mean,
He's still young, so he has
Yeah.
lots
still
of-
young,
That's
yeah. So
I don't do
I'm still getting there.
We don't want to be talk about age, but you're in your
I'll be 35 this month.
okay, and
My 20s,
wow, you really are young.
yeah.
But glad to have you on the show in any case. And we'll go back to what
Yeah,
we were talking about earlier. Is during the past few episodes, we've been talking about the need for new business growth and leadership in the Afro-American community. So here again today is a new generation of entrepreneurs emerging from the Annapolis scene. Jason, what type of experiences helped you prepare for your current role as a business owner?
I have to say it started back as a kid. My mom was a state representative in Texas, and I saw her lead. I can remember her giving speeches. I can remember being her at the Capitol so many times. I can remember being during her campaign tour. I was riding around with her, going house to house, and she always told us about giving back and the passion of doing, not always taking, but giving more. But I'd have to say that my leadership skills came from VMI, my time there. I learned the importance of following first in order to lead. And once I got the experience to lead, I always wanted to lead. So that taught me a lot. The game, of course, being a captain of almost every team that I've played for has taught me how to lead, because I have to set the example for my whole team. So
So who do you play for now, Jason?
so I've been in Finland this past season. I was in Finland. I'm actually going back to the same team this year, and Helsinki Seagulls is the team name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of chilly over there?
It's very cold. It gets cold at times, but my team does I can honestly say I'm in a great situation. They take care of me. I live right across the street from the gym, so I don't have to go too far. And it's just kind of funny how the whole story of Captain's Club with myself, and how they are the Helsinki Seagulls, and the Captain's Club is a nautical lifestyle brand, and the Seagulls are by the water, and Captain's Club is by the water.
Oh,
so when the
ironic.
stars align, sometimes you have to take advantage of it.
Right. You said something very interesting earlier, when all the opportunities are aligned together.
For sure.
To just go with it.
For sure.
So, Will, tell us about some of your experiences. You've had quite a few.
Well, like I said, growing up, I was one of 7. I've kind of always been very independent. I was a Boy Scout my whole entire life, too. My father actually started our Boy Scout troop in my town. And so growing up, I was always kind of had the pressure to lead everybody in our Boy Scout troop and everything. I was the senior patrol leader my whole life for like the entire Boy Scout troop of probably about 50 kids. I've taken countless youth leadership training programs and stuff like that. I was like captain of the cross country and track teams for about half of my high school career, until I got lazy and stopped running.
What I thought was really interesting was all your work experiences you told me about.
Yeah, so like I said, just always tried to lead people by example. I mean, everything we've done has just been, we've basically created the brand around our lifestyle of working hard, the balance of working hard and playing hard and having fun. And it's always something, you know, you're always constantly improving, you're always still learning. But I mean, the experience is gained daily. You
So
know.
before you were the store manager, what kinds of things did you actually do?
Before I was the store manager, I was just helping my brother. You know, we've done everything from putting new floors in the store. There's no better way to learn something than by doing it.
Yes.
And by actually being there and physically building the store, I've learned everything from, you know, like I said, putting the floors in to painting to trying to figure out displays and color schemes and designing clothes and everything like that. It's been an all-around effort for all of us.
One of the things I felt about you, Will, is that even though you're young, you're so very mature, and you have lots of knowledge and insight
Thank
into
you.
a lot of things. So I'm glad.
We are very
Cook got
lucky
the
to
right
have
thing.
him.
Yeah. Well, you made that decision. Jason, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us more about how you got started in your company and the brand? And
Well,
your
I've
market?
always been into fashion, and as you know, my time over in Europe, you see all different type of fashion over there, and you can see that we take a lot of stuff from there and we bring it here. So when I had the opportunity to go overseas, not just to play, but I developed my passion for fashion, and when I had the opportunity to, I always told myself if I ever had the opportunity, I wanted to take advantage of it. But we started. I was on a family vacation to Martha's Vineyard in 2014.
I love Martha's Vineyard.
Yes,
That's where you were.
That's where, yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's where we.
that's where we started.
started.
We started there in 2011.
Okay.
And I walked into the store, and I saw a hat, and I'm pretty big into hats, and I saw a hat, and it was just really cool. And first off, when I walked into the store, I just felt the vibe of the store. It's just it's relaxing, it's calm. It just makes you really comfortable when you're in there. So I try on this hat, and I look in the mirror, and I love the way it looks. It's something different. It's something new. And I was thinking to myself, I could take away this hat, and it can always remind me of this trip. And as I tried on, Jim, our partner, he walks up to me, and we start talking. And you have to know, he's 6'8". Jim is 6'8",
No, that's your
260.
brother.
No, this
No.
is our partner.
This is our
Yeah.
partner.
Okay.
So we automatically clicked. He played sports. We talked about sports. He asked me where I was from, and next thing you know, I walk out the store with 5 hats. So the next day, I come back. I'm on my bike there, and I come back, and I'm like, "Hey, Jim, I'm preparing to go back over to Europe at this time, so I have to train, and I can't just when I'm even on vacation, I have to prepare." So I say, "Hey, man, is there a court around here?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's actually a court. I can show you where it is. You want to go?" And I was saying to myself, "Don't you have to work the store?" He's like, "No, come on, let's go. AJ and Will got it, you know."
Okay.
And so I pick him up. We go to the courts. There's these 2 young kids there, like athletic kids, and we end up playing 2-on-2 against them. We beat them, which is awesome. And I guess after that, we just clicked. You know, we just got together, we clicked, and I went overseas. We stayed in touch the whole year. I kept telling him, you know, Jim, like the store is doing great. You should probably consider Annapolis. Just keep it in mind. So the following summer, last summer, I go back out there, and I see that they've gone from the store that I met him in to the largest store in Martha's Vineyard on Circuit Avenue, and it's great. It's amazing. And at that point, I was saying, Jim, it's time. So I go back overseas September 1st. September 10th, he calls me and says, Coop, it's time. We want to go to Annapolis. I was just down there, and it's time. It's a time to do it. So that was another situation, like I discussed, when the stars align, you have to take advantage of it. I recently got my master's in business. When I turned 30, I said to myself, like, you have to think about the game, life after the game.
Right.
And I got my master's in March. And when this opportunity came, it was just perfect.
So, well, you've got a little different history because you were there when you met Coop.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was your role?
So, like I said, I mean, we kind of just all we're a family.
Yeah.
Even though Jim, there's no, we're not related by blood, but he's my brother. Obviously, physically, we're a little different. Like Coop said, Jim is like 6'8". He's a really big guy. My brother's my size, so it's kind of funny. It's like the big Tim and the little guy, but he. So we just always worked together well. When it comes to designing things, we all have very different perspectives on designs and everything like that. But we all can agree on where the store, where how it should be in the end, and we all contribute in a different way. We all have a different perspective, but it always comes together to be the best possible outcome.
And that's so true what he says, how we all decide to, there's no one real captain to run, and we consider Captain's Club. It's us as a team,
Yeah.
as a club. I was over in Europe while the store in Annapolis was being built, and Jim is on FaceTime with me, showing me all the stuff that's going up on the wall. This is every day, because I had to take a chance. I had to really take a chance. I wasn't there to have to see the store being built and made, but I was so much involved just by on the phone all the time and seeing how everything was made. And I would tell him, I don't know about that. I love that. Let's not do that and put it over here. So.
But we never talked about the brand.
So like I was saying, the logo, one anchor represents working hard. The crossed anchors represent the balance of working hard and playing hard, and always striving to live like a king, live on top, and that's what the crown represents.
Or queen.
Or queen.
Or queen.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So it's work hard, play hard, live like a king, or
Okay.
queen.
Oh, right.
And our catchphrase is "Stay wavy," which is kind of like just do you, like life is good. Don't just go with the flow, ride the waves, and just enjoy
And everything
it.
will be okay.
Enjoy it, exactly.
Yes, excellent. And so your client base, who did you envision to be your client base?
So our client base is all ages. We are a nautical lifestyle brand, just like I said, and we focus on anybody who's living near or around the water. We started off on Martha's Vineyard, which is on the coast, on the island, Annapolis coast. So we are slowly working our way around the coast. When we come back in 10 or 5 or 10 years, I hope that we can do the same thing, and we can talk about our store in California or something like that. But we just our demographic, like I said, is basically all ages, and we focus on. Right now, there's not a kids line yet, but we have already put the plan in for Stay Wavy Baby, which is going to be a really cool thing. So we have so many. I can't imagine. There's probably once every third day somebody comes in and they are pregnant. They ask, "Do you have any baby stuff?" But we have designed things already, and that should drop in the next few months.
Oh, well, that's good.
So,
I was hoping we weren't giving away any trade secrets. I didn't want nobody to steal your thunder.
So, demographic-wise, too, mostly we started with hats. We just started with hats and some tank tops. So being on Martha's Vineyard, the whole island is basically a beach. So everybody's in tank tops, and everybody needs a hat to kind of give them a break from the sun every once in a while. we just started doing shorts, bathing suits, board shorts. Our friend Parker, he's out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. He does the socks for us.
Yes.
Love
And-
those.
Sucks.
Yeah, they're
You can't miss them.
they're incredible. Yeah, they're crazy. So that's another thing too that's great for us because the demographic for the socks, we've had, it's probably age 4 to 100. I've had 89-year-old doctor one time came in and if you buy something you get to sign the wall in the store. So he came in one time and bought 5 pairs of socks, and I remember his wife was so upset, and she was like, "You're not buying the socks. You're not going to buy the socks." And he was like, "I think I'm going to buy the socks." And he ended up buying them, and he wrote when he signed the wall, "I risked my marriage of 36 years buying these socks."
Oh, that was good. So then tell me, location is also a very critical factor in you starting this business. Why Annapolis and why downtown?
Well, I stressed the importance of Annapolis because, like I said, I spent the past 4 summers around the area. And what's so funny is when people come in and talk to us, they always say, "Man, we love Annapolis." But there's not a lot of people that have heard of it that are not from here. So I saw Main Street, which is a lot of traffic, and it's the perfect place for us. You can actually see the water. You can actually see the harbor if you walk outside and look down the street. And being a nautical brand, it's just perfect for us. And we have a lot of respect for the stores down there, but some of them have the old historic feel of Annapolis, and I think we bring a young, fresh feel. And
I think we fit in enough with our logo. It's synonymous with, Annapolis is considered the sailing capital of the U.S. right now. And so we fit in with, our catchphrase, "Stay wavy," everything like that, too. There's so many sailing
Naval
things. And,
Academy as well. So.
But we also stand out. There's nothing really like us down here. So it kind of brings a new, fresh feel to downtown, I think.
So you kind of were lucky. I mean, I understand that there weren't a lot of vacancies on Main Street. So how did that happen?
Like we talked about, that
Just
stars,
it's
the
just
stars
all worked
aligning. So we ended up being right across the street from Chicken Ruth, which is they've been there forever, and we were just at a prime location. If we weren't there, I don't know if we would be here. But in any type of business, when you think about the real estate and the location, it's almost everything.
Yes.
So when we had the opportunity, we took advantage of it. And I did my research, of course, and I used my stepfather for advice. And he said, once I told him exactly where it was, he definitely said, Jason, that is prime location. If you're going to do it, you have to do it there. So after hearing the advice and doing my research and agreeing with my team, we took advantage of it.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you here. Now, we often talk about strategic partners and the important role that they play in the successful growth of any business. What type of strategic partnerships have you developed thus far that will help you move to the next phase?
So we just joined the Chamber of Commerce, which was last month. We are involved with the Naval Academy captains. There's a lot of captains there that we've met and we've gotten involved with. They've all signed the wall. There's bars and restaurants around there. There's Acme. We're really good friends with those guys across the street. But it's been a combination of a lot of different people, and going global, which is actually, this just happened. My team that I play for is the Helsinki Seagulls. So as soon as I signed my contract last year with the team, I arrived, and of course, once they built the store, I started to post stuff online saying Captain's Club Apparel, Captain's Club Apparel. The owners of my team saw it online, and once the season was over, they said, Coop, we love your Captain's Club apparel stuff. For next season, how would you feel if we would sell the Captain's Club apparel stuff at the games? And of course, I played it cool at first. I was like, oh, we'll have to see. But once they put it in my contract, I took advantage of it.
Oh,
so
that's great.
They're going to purchase a bunch of sweaters and hats and shirts, and they're going to be selling it at the games.
Oh, that's good.
And one of the cool things is, in Europe, when you're playing for a team, you have a whole bunch of sponsors on your jersey. And I'll be able to play for a team and actually have the Captain's Club logo on our jersey. So it's going to be it's a great experience, and I can't emphasize enough when the stars align. You just have to take advantage of it, and the fact that they're going to sell the Captain's Club gear at the game is just awesome.
And Will, from the number of people that come through your shop, have you developed any special bonds with folks?
Every person that comes in is a new experience. It's a new memory. Like if you walk into the shop and you see all the signatures and everything,
Tell the audience about that. What's that about?
So if you buy something from the store, you're able to sign the wall. So what happens is people come in and everybody's different. Some people write,
their name.
Just their name. Some people write something funny that maybe we said, or something funny like that we don't even really know about, but it's just all around awesome. It's a very youthful experience for anybody. So it's cool because you can walk around sometimes and just read the things, and people will come in, kind of look around and just read something. You just immediately see them kind of light up. There's something.
And it makes them want to buy something.
That doesn't hurt.
Sometimes, but yeah.
But like he said, one of the coolest things, we give people the opportunity to sign. You can sign almost anywhere you want. There's this one piece of graffiti we have that we don't let anybody sign because it's just too cool. We don't want to mess it up. But I have to say, one of the coolest thing is we have a fan that's going right in the middle of our store, and this guy comes in and signs the bottom of the fan, and then he writes around the bottom. He says, "This is my only fan base," which is one of the coolest ideas I've heard since I've been in the store. So it's just those small things that make the Captain's Club experience so cool.
Yeah, I enjoy being in the shop, but we
Yeah.
understand that retailing is never easy. Current trends are telling us that the economy is slowing down. Just about everywhere, the consumer is not spending as much of their disposable income anymore because they're fearful of future trends and what's happening in the world right now, and some of that's beginning to affect our economy.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you see you facing in growing this business?
Well, being a first-year owner, you're going to deal with a lot of challenges. The seasonal challenge is probably the largest one. I mean, we opened in October. We did well the first up till Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. We did well. And then once January and February hit, it was a lot of snow, the weather was bad, and it kind of crushed us. Yeah. But we were able to stay afloat. So being a first-time owner, you have to deal with the ups and downs, because it was going up, and you were on cloud 9 for a second, and then you had to deal with those few months after that were tough.
Especially Martha's Vineyard is also seasonal,
Right.
so we're only open there for about 4 months out of the year. So that's tough too. The population goes from over 300,000 during the summer to less than 20,000 in the winter, and the average age is 72. So they're not buying our snapbacks and socks as much as some of the younger demographic. But I mean, obviously too, just rent and everything like that, just foot traffic and trying to get your name and your brand out there and establish yourself, and finding the right employees and training people.
But it's exactly like you said. It's when it comes to finding the right, we live by what our logo means. When we talk about work hard and play hard, you can't play hard if you don't work hard first.
That's right.
And it's when we talk, I'll be on my feet sometimes in the store for hours and hours, because I'll have a conversation with people, and it's not just to sell stuff, but I actually enjoy finding out where they come from.
Right.
And that's part of the experience that you get when you actually come into our store. I want people to walk out saying, that was a fun place, that was a cool store. And if they buy something, of course, that's great. But I value Captain's Club and my life on the people in my life and the people I have around me. And I try to keep the right people around me.
Yeah, because that's the thing I found when I was in your store. You guys actually talked, and you enjoyed that. It was like, okay, go over here and buy something.
Exactly.
And so
We try and like to backtrack to what you were saying earlier is, you know, when people come in, the relationships I've made since October being here, have all my friends and everything have been people that have come into the store and I've talked to, you know, and I've kind of gotten to know just by speaking with them and, you know, trying to build a relationship. It's not, you know, it's not like your normal department store where you go in and you're told the deal and everything. We sell our lifestyle, you know. It's who we are.
It's so true what he says about the relationship he's built. We have people every day that work on Main Street. When they're on their break, they come and they hang out at the store, and it's over and over again. And we want people to feel comfortable, but it's just funny. They'll leave their work like, man, I'm just tired, and they'll just come and hang. Well, they'll come and hang out with us.
Yeah.
And
we have a couch
and that's
behind the
another
counter.
form of marketing, because that's word of mouth.
Exactly.
So you can't put a value on that.
Yeah, and even more so than just friendships too. You know, we've made countless connections with like the Southern Florida United States Naval Parents Club, stuff like that. You know, George Nassif from the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
We met him by him just coming into the store and speaking with him, and it's just it's every day you meet somebody new. It's just always connections. You know, it's like it's just social networking.
It's a social networking, great experience, and it's a great feeling. You'd be surprised when people talk about when we say you can sign the wall. People act like it's the Great Wall.
Like,
It's the Great Wall of China. Like it's gonna be there, you know. So they grab the marker so quick. And if I recall, I think you kind of did the same thing when you came.
Yeah, I did my thing.
You
even got
reached
up on
for
the
the marker.
stepladder.
You got up on the stool, the step
Yep.
ladder, and you signed that ceiling so fast. So when you see that smile on their face and they can walk out and they can feel like that, I mean that's the best way to kind of give back that you can do.
Well, I'm certainly glad I had you on your show today, because what we'll try to do in the future, we'll work on some of your marketing needs. I'll get with the people at City of Annapolis, and we'll come up with something probably for the spring, and hopefully you
great.
guys will come up with some idea. I really think you need to do an opening,
ribbon
mix,
cutting,
something that can bring us downtown.
That'd be awesome.
It's great.
Well, we're almost at the end of our show. What recommendations or words of advice would you give to someone, especially young adults, interested in starting a business today?
One is do your research first, and you have to have actual passion for what you want to do, and it isn't always easy, because sometimes we get thrown into something and we can't help it. But try to have a passion for it. Do your research, and we can't stress this enough. You have to work and put that time in. And although I was away in Europe, I was constantly on the phone with consumers, with our store, and I was constantly on the phone with my team, because we were trying to figure out as far as orders and what needs to be purchased, and try to do what you love. And as I've said before, take what comes your way. When the stars align, sometimes you have to see that as a sign, and you have to jump on it, and you have to understand that everything's a risk. But I would rather risk and lose at something I want to do than something that I don't. So.
Now, I never asked you this question, but give me a round figure on what was your initial startup cost.
Let's say 6 figures to start.
Okay.
In the vineyard, when we started in the shed, we started with less than $10,000. It was just enough to to essentially place minimum orders for hats and tank tops and everything like that, and just pay rent for the first few months with first, last, and security, and kind of just everything else, like the racks that go on the wall and paint for the shed and everything like that. But it was kind of just money that we had worked hard for doing other things, that we had all come together and contributed.
So what would you say your challenge is now, in addition to what Jason just said? What do you see as some of the challenges?
I mean, he pretty much nailed them all. Just motivation too sometimes, it's hard to stay motivated because it's so up and down.
Right.
There's always very high points where you're just excited and you love what you do, and then there's days where you just are exhausted. It's like Jason and I probably work over 100 hours a week, and then there's days where it's like you love it and you feel like you're not even at work, you feel like you're just doing what you love, and then there's days where it's like the most tedious things ever that you have to do, ordering and stuff like that, or paying bills, and and you just it kind of kills you sometimes. But I mean, for the most part, I think if you are truly passionate about what you're doing, there's no real downside, I mean, there are obviously, but you can get over it pretty quick. Especially when people come in and you talk to them, like yesterday I was kind of just feeling like real kind of tired and exhausted, and I had this couple come in because of the rain hit, the weather, and I had this couple come in and I ended up talking to them for an hour and a half, and they were like the nicest people, and it just like kind of just lifts your mood, and then everybody else the whole rest of the night I was like, all right, like let's do this, so that's what happens. But
do you have any closing remarks, Jason? Would you like
Closing remarks. Well,
for the audience,
please come by the store, 168 Main Street. You can enjoy the Captain's Club experience yourself, and like the logo says, work hard, play hard, live like a king or queen. We strive to live like that, and don't be afraid to take a chance when things come your way. You have to put your big boy shoes on and take a chance.
and the big girl shoes.
And big girl shoes.
And stay wavy.
Stay wavy.
Thanks, Jason and William, for
Thank
your
you so much.
insights and recommendations.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned to Channel 98, Verizon 38 for the Minority Business Report, which airs daily. And you can also watch it on YouTube if you have any comments or suggestions. Regarding this edition of the Minority Business Report, please contact me at the Office of Central Services in Annapolis on 222-7620. We are here working for you. Peace and blessings. The following bids are available from the Anne Arundel County Purchasing Office.